If you're talking about sex, and that's a nut. That's not me. Go to the guy down the street because it's not Michael Jackson. It's not what I'm interested in.
If you think Michael Jackson died because of a careless doctor, you might be wrong. If you think Diddy is just a successful rapper with a few relationship scandals, then you've only seen the tip of the iceberg. A chilling theory has been spreading across forums and podcasts worldwide, suggesting that Michael Jackson's death wasn't just a tragic accident, but possibly connected to a secret underground network within the entertainment industry, with Diddy right at its center. Amidst a storm of lawsuits crashing down on Diddy, from human trafficking to sexual assault, a surprising name resurfaces. Fahim Muhammad, once Michael Jackson's closest bodyguard, now reportedly managing security operations for Diddy. Today, we're not just talking about a scandal. We're diving into a chain of strange, tangled events, like something ripped straight from a detective thriller, taking us from million-dollar mansions in Hollywood to hidden underground tunnels and a conspiracy that could forever change the way you see the entertainment world. Buckle up, because after watching this video, you'll never look at Michael Jackson, or Diddy, the same way again. The final days of Michael Jackson were far from peaceful, despite how they might have looked to the public eye. Sure, he smiled in front of cameras and talked excitedly about his upcoming This Is It tour. But behind the scenes, Michael was living in a state of constant fear and paranoia. Multiple times, he confided in close friends and family that he felt like someone was watching him, like someone was out to get him. One of his final words ever reported was chilling. "They're trying to kill me. They want to take control of my music catalog." Michael wasn't just an artist. He was a man who owned a treasure trove of music, not only his own, but also rights to some of the greatest hits in history, including tracks from the Beatles and Elvis Presley, through his stake in Sony/ATV. That catalog was worth billions. And in a world where power often walks hand in hand with corruption, holding that much value as one man was never safe. And here's where things start to get weird. The very first person at the scene of Michael's death? Fahim Muhammad, his longtime head of security. Fahim was the one who walked into Michael's bedroom and found him unresponsive. According to testimony, Michael's private doctor, Conrad Murray, was in a panic, fumbling to resuscitate him. Fahim described the moment in court, and his statement became a pivotal part of the case against Dr. Murray. But here's what really raises eyebrows. After Michael died, Fahim didn't retire quietly or fade into private life. Instead, he began working for Diddy, one of the most powerful and now most legally embattled men in the entertainment business. The same man who witnessed Michael's final breath is now running security for a mogul at the center of some of the darkest allegations Hollywood has ever seen. Or is Fahim the link in a much longer, much deeper chain of events? Diddy, aka Sean Combs, has long been hailed as a symbol of black excellence in Hollywood. From music producer to brand mogul, from lavish parties to high-profile romances with stars like Jennifer Lopez, Diddy always came off as a man completely in control of his empire. But what most people don't know is that behind all that glamour lies a labyrinth. And I mean that both literally and figuratively.
Because supposedly there's a tunnel connected from Diddy's house to Michael Jackson's house.
No way!
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I actually did not know that.
Now. So I fact-checked this whole thing. There's only proof that in Diddy's pool, there's tunnels leading to a private grotto. And
is it the Playboy Mansion? Because I know the Playboy Mansion for sure.
No.
Had tunnels.
It's his own house. So according to the website, it has a private theater that can fit 35 people. And the most curious thing about his property is that the underwater tunnel connected to a grotto is inside a mansion.
Oh, damn.
Recently, the internet dug up a shocking detail. Diddy's Beverly Hills mansion, spanning thousands of square feet, reportedly includes a bizarre architectural feature, a network of underground tunnels leading to an area called the Grotto, essentially an artificial cave beneath the pool. Sound familiar? It should. It mirrors the infamous layout of the Playboy Mansion, where Hugh Hefner hosted decades of secretive parties shielded from the press and public scrutiny. And it doesn't stop there. A theory, now circulating heavily on Reddit and conspiracy podcasts, claims there are as many as 5 underground tunnels connecting Diddy's estate to other nearby mansions in the Beverly Hills area. And one of those properties? It was said to belong to Michael Jackson. Of course, skeptics are quick to jump in, saying there's no hard proof of a direct tunnel linking the two homes. But if you've ever followed scandals among the ultra-rich, you'll know one thing. The more hidden something is, the more likely it's real. Architectural plans of Diddy's mansion have surfaced, showing an incredibly complex design. Complete with a private underground theater for 35 people, secret rooms locked with biometric access, and multiple layers of privacy. So, is it really that far-fetched to believe that one of those tunnels once led to Michael's house? Especially when they were known to be neighbors for a time. There's another odd detail. Right behind Diddy's estate sits an area that used to function as a container depot. That's right, a storage zone for cargo shipments. Now ask yourself, why would one of Hollywood's richest artists buy a house right next to an industrial shipping site? Some say it's just real estate, but others whisper about certain special deliveries, legally cleared containers, packed with contents no one wants to see in daylight. So now the question becomes, is Diddy just an entertainment mogul? Or is he sitting at the heart of something much darker, a shadowy empire where music is merely the mask? And if Michael Jackson, once a friend, once a neighbor, once a man who believed he was being followed, ended up dead after saying he was ready to expose something, was it really just a medical accident? This is no longer a rumor. This isn't just tabloid gossip or background whispers at industry parties. Diddy, once hailed as the embodiment of luxury, power, and cultural influence in the entertainment world, is now facing some of the most serious allegations not just of his career, but potentially in the entire modern history of the music industry. Starting in late 2023 and continuing into early 2024, a wave of lawsuits began crashing down on Diddy. But these aren't your typical celebrity lawsuits over trademarks or royalties. These are next level. We're talking about accusations involving sexual assault, abuse, human trafficking, depraved private parties, and, most disturbingly, an alleged extortion ring involving secret recordings of artists, models, and powerful figures during exclusive after-hours events. One of the most explosive cases comes from rapper Lil Rod, a former collaborator of Diddy. In court documents, Lil Rod details years of disturbing encounters, where he claims he was coerced, monitored, threatened, and silenced. But here's the kicker. A name appears repeatedly in those documents. Fahim Muhammad. Yes, the very same Fahim Muhammad who once served as Michael Jackson's chief bodyguard, and who is now reportedly in charge of Diddy's personal security. But according to these allegations, Fahim isn't just a security guard. He's painted as the fixer. The cleaner. The one who handles problems before they reach the surface. The guy who, allegedly, helped conceal some of Diddy's worst behavior from ever seeing daylight. And it gets creepier. Fahim Muhammad was also the first person to walk into Michael Jackson's room and see his lifeless body. That's not some internet theory. That's courtroom testimony. Too many connections. Too many overlaps. At what point does coincidence stop being coincidence and start looking like a pattern? And then came a voice from outside the industry echo chamber. Conservative commentator Candace Owens. She didn't mince words in her podcast. According to her, Diddy isn't just another mogul who let fame go to his head. She believes he may be part of something far more dangerous. A shadow network where fame is weaponized to manipulate, to control, and to silence anyone brave enough to push back. Owens compared the Diddy situation to the Jeffrey Epstein scandal, one of the most horrifying elite-driven scandals in recent memory. But she added something even more chilling. What truly links these cases isn't just the depravity, it's the silence. While the world went into meltdown over Epstein, the media today seems oddly hesitant to cover the Diddy lawsuits in the same light. Major outlets are treating him like a celebrity who's just made a few bad choices, not someone potentially orchestrating one of the darkest operations ever linked to the entertainment industry. So what's really going on here? Why are celebrities who once called Diddy a living legend suddenly going radio silent? And why does Michael Jackson's name keep popping up in conspiracy circles related to all this? If you've made it this far, you're probably thinking, there's no way all of this is just coincidence. Michael Jackson, a once-in-a-generation talent, spent his final years not as a peaceful icon preparing for a grand comeback, but as a man terrified, paranoid, and convinced he was being watched. And it wasn't just nerves or stress. Michael openly told those around him he feared for his life. He believed his every move was being tracked. That someone, or some group, wanted him gone. In a leaked private recording, Michael says, "If anything happens to me, don't believe it was an accident." "I've been poisoned." Those words were never broadcast on mainstream news, but they've circulated among fans and independent investigators for years. The real question is, did Michael get too close to uncovering something? Something so dark, so powerful, that speaking out would have cost him everything? And now, with Diddy under fire, one of the most connected figures in the industry, and Fahim Muhammad appearing as the common thread between them, many are starting to ask the same thing. Is there a hidden system operating behind the curtain of fame? One that pulls strings, covers tracks, and silences those who know too much? Because what we might be looking at isn't Hollywood as we know it. This isn't the land of Oscars and red carpets. This is a machine, a tightly controlled network where reputations are shields, influence is currency, and truth is buried under stage lights. So here's the terrifying question. If Michael Jackson had tried to expose this world, was he taken out before he could? And if Diddy, now buried under an avalanche of legal trouble, is finally being exposed, is this the start of something bigger? Is justice catching up to those who've ruled from the shadows?